Welcome to Real Estate Straight Up, where we skip the scripts and talk about what's really going on in the Central Texas real estate market. I'm Casey Jorgensen, founder of Jorgensen Real Estate in Round Rock, Texas. This is where we break down how deals are actually getting done, what top agents are doing differently, and what most people aren't saying out loud about this market right now. No fluff, no BS, just real estate, straight up. Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Real Estate Straight Up. I'm Casey Jorgensen, broker and founder of Jorgensen Real Estate here in Central Texas. I am joined today by Mr. Mike Kelly here at Jorgensen Real Estate. This segment we do is called Closer Conversations. It's a double entendre, closer and closer conversations.
Oh, wow. I didn't even,
you see that?
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, Claude helped me come up with it. Anyway, we're joined by Mike. Mike is
What up?
Been with us for 2 years at this point.
About a year and a half.
Yeah. So we're going to go over some cool topics today. We're going to go over a little bit. I think first, I'd love just to jump right in. Relocation, because you work with a lot of relocating buyers, and you are a You relocated here kind of on a whim. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Definitely an impulsive situation and decision. I visited Australia like 2 years ago, and it was like
you mixed up Australia and Austin when you did your move, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but it was just beautiful. I was like still single, kind of getting sick of the weather. Like Australia.
Well, where were you?
Beautiful. We're at Grand Rapids. I'm originally from a small town in Michigan. Moved to Grand Rapids, which is only like 30 minutes away from there. And yeah, I just was kind of ready for something new. I visited Austin once, or I went on a trip during college once, and I really liked it. And then just did a visit with a friend and fell in love with it.
Did you know many people here before you moved here?
No, there's one college buddy. Yeah, from I went to school with. So
dang.
Yeah, I just sent it, and I was like, this is something I don't want to regret, like later in life, like making a movie, you know what I mean? And
so the Michigan winters played a part.
Yeah, it was like, honestly, I went to Australia and it was just sunny. I was there for 2.5 weeks. It was sunny every single day, and I was like, dude, I feel good. Like, what is it? I'm like, it's probably
it's vitamin D, dude.
Yeah, it's literally I looked more into it, and I'm like, and you don't even really like think about that, like how when you're in like that environment for so long, you just think like that's kind of normal.
Yeah.
But I looked it up, and it's literally one of the most cloudy and places in America. And yeah, I started getting into like fitness and health, and like that's huge here.
It's a big fitness culture.
Yeah, I remember it was like, I came in January, and it was like 40 degrees. I was like, I didn't even know Austin, like this is Texas, why is it 40 degrees? But there were still like so many people outside running, working out, like playing sports at Zilker and stuff. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, this is so cool. And yeah, so I just wanted somewhere where I could like do a lot of stuff outside, a lot of activities outside, all year round. You know what I mean?
It probably resonates with a lot of people that either want to move here or that have moved here too from up north. So what part of town did you end up kind of settling on? Because you're a young guy, right? So that's got to play some kind of a factor into where you want to be.
I'm pushing 30, dude.
Oh, wow. I take that back.
Yeah, well, I didn't know any of the areas, and that it was like so stressful because you don't know any, and I only knew my one friend that was only there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have anyone to lean on when it came to that. So I had a like an agent, a leasing agent. She helped me a little bit, but it was like pretty random. I just went with like the best apartment.
Yeah,
like I think I toured like Riverside. More like South Austin, and then also like Zilker area. And I'm like so happy I picked Zilker because it's just like,
yeah,
I love it there.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So what's some advice? I mean, it sounds like you hired an agent, so that's at least a good thing. Do you have any kind of any pieces of advice or things that you would impart to somebody else that's moving here that you maybe didn't get right?
Yeah, I would. Well, that's what I was actually going to talk about too. Just like it's, and I feel like just like greater Austin, like every single, even being like a mile from, like a mile apart from a different area, it can be so different.
Yeah.
And like the lifestyle, is so different. So I would figure out, just like, I mean, keep in mind like what your hobbies are, what you're gonna want to do. Like, do you really like coffee shops? Do you like parks? Do you like being close to the trail? Are you like if you're like a runner? There's so many runners in Austin. Like that trail is amazing.
It seems like every year they're coming out with a newer, better, cool spot to run around Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another part I love about Austin. I feel like the city planning is just like amazing. Like they just added that more green space area on the east side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's just awesome that they're doing that. Like, because I feel like a lot of bigger cities, they get bigger and they do more like developments, like housing developments and things like that. But it's good that they're also doing that.
Yeah, I will say that's a pretty good. I agree. That's a shining part of Austin. The planning and the parks and the green space and the preserves and things like that have been pretty awesome.
Dude, and like I haven't been to like every big city, but I don't know if there's a lot of cities that you have the downtown, but then you have so much green space around it, like so close to it. Like it's just unreal. Like it's amazing. Yeah,
you should have seen it back in the early 2000s. It was still there's a lot more open space than there is now.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you work with a lot of relocating people, right? So you get to now, you've been here for a few years, you've got your feet wet, you know a lot of the different areas and the nuance and things, you know the good spots. I know we get testimonials and stuff from people all the time. From Mike here at the brokerage, he's one of our top performers in terms of getting actual clients to leave him testimonials, which is a huge part of his business. But they all mention how like helpful and hands-on you are with helping them pick, where they want to be. So that's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of it too, like I've only been here for 2 years, so there's a lot of stuff I don't know. So I really lean on our team. I mean, so many people are from Austin and know the area well. And I feel like everyone on the team is from a different part of like greater Austin, which is super helpful.
Yep.
But a lot of it too is just like doing the actual research of what are the developments that are coming up. What does this neighborhood, what does this look like? Depreciation, what that will look like in the next 10 years. So I like doing that for clients. Yeah,
I know that, like you said, a mile down the road can be a completely different living experience, you know, and Round Rock is only 20, 30 minutes away without traffic, knock on wood, to south side of Austin. But I know south side Austin people don't always know Williamson County as much, and vice versa, even though it's only 20, 30 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
But it can be a completely different thing. So
for sure.
And switching subjects a little bit, a lot of the people that are relocating here, just like you, they're first-time buyers when they come here, right? And we were talking before we started filming about kind of the most recent study that, I don't want to say it went viral, but I feel like every real estate agent out there was posting, oh my gosh, the freaking median age of a first-time home buyer is 40 years old, and people were kind of freaking out. And we were like, we read some conflicting data when we were talking. It was like, I don't know if that passes the smell test, right? And so, let's. What did we learn? With that?
So NAR came out with a survey and a statistic that said that the average first-time home buyer is now 40 years old.
Yeah, but how did they send out that survey?
Yeah, so it was. I think they sent it out to 120,000 people in the mail.
I think it was 190,000 people.
Or 190,000.
Almost 200,000 people.
Yeah, but there's 120 questions on there.
Yeah,
and only 6,000 people returned it.
Yeah,
and it was mail stamped, like they had actually.
Yeah, so they sent out a paper survey.
Yeah,
and the data they pulled from it was the age of the median first time home buyer, and I don't like which in 2025 what sub 30-year-old is filling out a survey for fun, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you look at the real data that's coming from like the New York Fed and Cotality, FHFA, then they pull like loan applications and things like that.
They can access actual credit reports that show mortgages. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually showed it's around, I think it's 33, right?
That's what we saw. Yeah. So 33 years old was was closer to the actual number. And in 2016, 10 years ago, it was 32. So it wasn't like a big jump according to that study.
Yeah.
So, but NAR put out 40. So every realtor was posting the median age was 40, even though that was kind of a questionable survey. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, there's no question affordability. It's a lot tougher now than it was. I have a lot of buyers now that they're using like gifted funds from family and they're lucky enough to do so. But yeah, it's tough out there right now for sure.
Well, I can tell you, like, just as a side note, there's the boomer generation. They have good money and good savings, and they're having conversations with their financial advisors on how to move money to their kids and to their grandkids without huge tax implications. And so there's some creativity on how to help their kids or grandkids purchase real estate using some of their money, and it actually can become a nice way to transfer some of that wealth without huge tax implications too. So that's a good point.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So how's it been? I mean, working with first-time buyers here in this market, because I know that it's pretty balanced, right? I mean, we've been feeling it like it's a pretty stable, pretty balanced market. And so builders and sellers are offering really great incentives to help first-time buyers.
Yeah, exactly. When I was in Michigan, the market was super hot. It was a huge seller's market. And so that was definitely an adjustment coming here where it's more of a balanced market. But it's a lot more fun working with first-time home buyers, because a lot of times in Michigan, like, we would get beat out 5-10 times and they would just give up. Here we can actually, there's a lot more room to negotiate and get better terms for first-time home buyers. So yeah, it's a lot better place to be for. And I actually thought Austin, like, I didn't realize the market, like, I thought it was still, when I moved here, I thought it was still booming, but it's obviously been correcting.
Yeah, we corrected. I mean, our 2020 through early 2022 was gangbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
And so we went up. I mean, we were getting, back then, you want to talk about a hot market, we were getting 50, 60 offers on our listings, which was insanity. And now, what goes up must come down, and we've kind of gone through that correction. But this year is looking better numbers wise than last year, but it's still stable, which is fair and good for people like first time buyers, right?
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a healthier market. And buyers have more choices now, which is nice.
Yeah, we were making some decisions at the brokerage level. Obviously we do marketing, not just for our sellers and things like that, but we also do marketing to get new clients. And we said, well, who's our target? And when we looked at first-time buyers, it was surprising because they only account for about 21% of the transactions right now. Yeah. A better study was the median age of a real estate buyer right now is 59 years old. So that's not first-timers, but that's the median age of all purchases right now. But only 21% of purchases were first-time buyers. And so we were like, do we want to spend marketing dollars to find first-time buyers, even though it's such a low segment? And I think the answer is yes, because the opportunity for them is amazing.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah, and I just love working with. It's obviously such a stressful process, it's just it's nice being like kind of like the calm in the storm and like assuring them that everything like is truly going to be okay. I have a lot. It's a lot more rewarding. I feel like working with them.
And I know that I don't remember which client it was, but there was a review that came in. So it's currently, we're filming this, it's July in Austin. And so the normal outside temperature in the shade yesterday was like 109 or something like that. And so we saw Mike's a sharp dressed fella, and he usually has on, nice pants and a sport coat.
Yeah.
And there's a video of him floating around where he was up in the attic in this heat, like checking out the components for his clients. And I was like, I don't know if I was out, if I like, that's dedication for your clients, right?
Yeah.
And I'm an old man now, so
yeah,
that the heat in the attic could kill me, but good on you for being up in there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I try to do when I'm showing properties. To be honest, like, and this is funny, like, it's weird coming from a realtor. Like, I really don't care about like houses and like design, like that part of real estate that much. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Like I don't really have like a lot of like specific taste of like of houses and like real estate. You know what I mean? Like a lot of real estate agents, they just like love homes and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But like what I'm passionate about is seeing what the red flags, what like anything that could come up that could cost my buyers like $10,000 in the next 5 years. Cause that looks terrible on me if I didn't see that and I didn't spot that at an inspection. So, I mean, every showing that, like, I even tell them, like, hey, you guys walk around the house. I'm going to, if you have any questions, let me know, but I'm going to go make sure, like, I go double check, like, the foundation's good. The furnace in the attic is like not 20 years old. You know what I mean? Because of course, like the inspector's going to see that, but I could save them that $500.
Well, inspections cost money.
Exactly,
so like
yeah.
you've got a buyer goes under contract. They typically have option money of a couple $100 and then the inspection costs of several $100. Mm-hmm. So yeah, being able to spot those red flags. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stage a house to save my life.
No,
I've been paying for stagers for 15, 20 years at this point because I'm with you. But yeah, you point something out, missing shingles, an HVAC that's looking a little shoddy, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's what people think like real estate agents do. Cause like, if you've seen like Selling Sunset and those shows where they're just like, this is the bathroom. And they're like, that's just like, so not what it is. Like it just seems like so much easier, but,
that's the stuff that costs money, right? Like buyers can figure out if they like a layout of a house pretty easy.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they're going to know. So,
yeah. Well, good. So when it comes to, I know we've got great loan programs. I know the market's very balanced for first-time buyers. So being able to serve them and kind of work hard is huge. We were also talking before we filmed, before we started filming today, of what kind of differentiates you versus some more, different agents in the market right now.
Yeah. And I actually struggled with that, finding what that was before I joined the team. And I remember the team meeting we had when you were like, hey, Mike, you might want to focus on, like, you're single, you don't have kids. Like, you might want to lean on, like, being time flexible, working when other agents aren't able to be working, right? And being very responsive to people. And that's what I've been leaning on the last year. And it's, so I think just kind of always being there for my clients, like as soon as possible and getting the best information for them as soon as possible. And like, if they want to go see a property that just came on the market, sometimes, like, I know a lot of agents probably, they're like, oh, I'll show it to you. Let's say it's Monday. They'll be like, yeah, I'll show it to you Friday. I'm open Friday. Like, I'm the type where, like, let's go see that tonight.
Yep.
I don't want you guys to miss out on that, you know, because that happens a lot. Like, timing is so important in real estate.
Yeah, we're a balanced market. We're not a dead market. Stuff still requires some speed to get done.
And I would just, and that's happened before where I like had to put some off, and then they got another offer too, and then it's like, now I feel terrible that I didn't just it was just
And I think both things can be true, right? Like there's agents that have families and kids and obligations and everything too, and they are kind of in there, and their clients still love them. That works for those clients. Yeah. Some clients they want that responsiveness and stuff, and so it can be a mismatch. And so that's something that I know when we have a a new opportunity, somebody that's looking for representation and things like that. I know you're always one of the first people to raise your hand and you're ready to call right away. And that's a difference maker for getting new business. So, but yeah, I think, both things can be true, but that is a huge value proposition to be available. I know for me, I coach my son's flag football when I can and do some things, and I'm very active there. I don't have the ability to go show in the evenings anymore. It's part of why now the broker, that's my life, right? And I love my life and everything else, but going and doing the hustle and being able to be responsive and do that, it's a huge leg up for sure. Yeah. Well, let's switch gears a little. Let's talk about new construction, right? And so I know new construction is a big part of your focus and your expertise and helping buyers buy new construction, but do it the right way. So walk me through some of that. How's that been going for you and for your clients?
Yeah, it's been going really good. Like you touched on earlier, builders right now, they're offering just some pretty awesome incentives. I think I saw like 2.99. I forgot what builder it was, but like 2.99% interest rate.
Yep.
Which the interest rate's like 6.7 right now
on average.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what happens too a lot is we start looking at some properties, like some resale and stuff, and then I always kind of just bring up new construction and see if that's a possibility. It's not for everybody. A lot of the newer developments right now, they're kind of more in like, let's say like cookie cutter neighborhoods. Yeah. No like mature trees, so you can see all the neighbors and everything. So it's not for everybody. But just killer deals right now, and like. Also, I think it's super cool being able to see my clients like pick out all the finishes in their house. Like it's on like
right,
like they're playing Sims. Is that what the game was? Sims or something?
Sims, the game of my generation. You're talking about that? Yeah, The Sims. Yeah,
and it's just it's a cool experience. It's usually a lot of a cleaner experience. Like
well, it's like car shopping, right? Like if you go look at if you're shopping used cars, they got that like used car kind of whatever. You're like, what's that smell, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you go to a brand new car, you're like, wow, it's got that new car smell. Everything is perfect, plastic still on everything.
Exactly. So. And then you don't have to worry about, for the most part, like major appliances failing, anything like foundation issues, where a lot of times those can come up on resales, like that you just. Even the inspector might miss.
I mean, stuff shows up sometimes, but the warranties that they have are generally pretty good.
Yeah, and stuff shows up on the inspection report, but you actually, which I think is awesome, you get to go walk it with the inspector, especially like the I guess the better builders. Like they'll take care of everything on the inspection report.
Yeah.
And then, you usually have a 1-year warranty for anything. I think 6 years for like appliances and things like that, right?
I think it depends on the builder, but I think across the board, kind of the norm is that 1 year, they call it quote unquote bumper to bumper, where they take care of everything. I know I've got a client that popped up today where, the house is 1.5 years old. It's past the 1 year warranty and it's got some issues with, like the seals in the windows have failed. And so there's still warranties, but we have to go to the manufacturer for it. But it was all still new. And so there's various warranties.
Yeah. And I always recommend like month 11 that they get an inspection again, because they'll come and fix everything.
Yeah.
Because you have that 1 year they'll cover anything.
Yeah. We have what I've noticed over the years is houses in Texas they really need to go through like a full changeover of the season. So the hottest part of the summer, coldest part of the winter, because that house will kind of breathe and settle and things will kind of show up. So that's great advice. Yeah. So 10, 11 months on your new home, get that second inspection done so they can come in and clean up any of those things.
And like a basic inspection, like you can get only like $350. Like it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And they'll fix anything. But I just found that the process is just a lot smoother. You're not negotiating. You are negotiating, but it's not like, obviously real estate gets really emotional. And you kind of avoid that part too. And,
builders are definitely don't have the emotion of a seller.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as to call them emotionless. but
right.
they might be emotionless.
So it's just been like every new build that I've gotten a contract, like the experience and like my client has been ecstatic about everything about it. So yeah, they get into a new house for a better deal most of the time right now. So
yeah, that's good. That's good advice. All right, you want to jump into some fun questions?
Yeah, I'm ready. I don't know what you're gonna pull out, dude.
Yeah, we don't prep for these. Like we have some guidelines, but we don't really prep for these. What's something right now? So you're becoming agent. You're almost 30. You said, right? So that's almost crazy, agent. Man. What are you working on right now in terms of like personal development and things? Because you're one of the people that show up most for our kind of coaching and growth meetups here at the brokerage. What are you kind of focusing on right now and working on?
I have been trying to learn a lot more about negotiation to better serve my clients. There's a lot that goes into that, and there's a lot of negotiation that happens with the buyer agent, the seller agent. I just want to be able to better serve my client and save them the most amount of money.
Yeah. So what are you reading? Like, what are you digging into right now?
Yeah, it's Never Split the Difference.
Okay.
I got the author.
Chris Voss.
Yeah. So just started that book. I'm also reading Atomic Habits.
Also a great book.
Yeah. Trying to get my morning routine a lot better and evolve that for sure. Just because I feel like that sets you up. Like your morning is so important, really.
It's the easiest thing to get derailed too.
Yeah, for sure. And it just takes one night of or a morning of sleeping in, and it just screws up your whole week. And it's just like really trying to lock that in, because what I've noticed is like my habits kind of outside of work directly affect my work 100%. Usually when I'm eating good, like working out, and like that, it translates to real estate. I told you this, that like before I moved here, I was doing real estate, but I was literally I was waking up at like 10 or 11.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I forgot that. Yeah, you were sleeping in.
Yeah. And it was a lot different market. Like I was talking about, like where I would just like get a lead. I'd like go show a house and they put an offer in, and I was making like decent money. I was making pretty good money.
So way lower price point there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I moved here, and I think that was the best thing for me, how the market wasn't like that anymore, and I had to really adjust and change everything what I was doing. And yeah, so it's been good.
Yeah, we've had plenty of agents over the years that didn't work out here with us, where they were younger and hustlers and everything, but they were going out and drinking and hitting the bars, and then they sleep in, and those early morning opportunities that come in, they just completely miss.
Yeah.
And not a lot of real estate happens, before 9 a.m. anyway. Like generally speaking, people aren't wanting to see houses first thing in the morning. You have those people that do, of course, but just generally most of those things. And it's really easy to get into that late night, late morning routine instead of that healthy balance. So
I actually had to stop drinking alcohol. I didn't know how candid we are getting on this podcast.
Yeah, no, let it out, man.
This is a therapy session, right?
This is therapy.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. I just had to cut out alcohol because I tried doing that for 3 months, and like everything changed for the better, and I was like, maybe it's probably best I stay away from it. So just trying to lock that in, and
I mean, if you have goals, no matter what the goal is, whether it's a fitness goal or a business goal or any kind of goal, I don't see a world where alcohol helps you achieve that goal faster. I know it gets tough when it's social. I'm a super social person, so go out and meet people, and it's the happy hours and everything else.
In this business, for sure. It's all over. Yeah,
but I don't think that you need to, and I don't think that that's something that helps people achieve their goals faster. Can you achieve, like, there's nothing wrong with having some drinks or doing whatever,
For sure, yeah.
But if it's getting in the way of achieving what you're wanting to achieve in a certain time, then it's got to go.
Yeah.
That's anything. That could be a relationship, that could be alcohol, that could be fast food. I mean, that could be anything.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. And so once I cut out alcohol, and then I started working out every morning, and that's like right when I started just kind of hustling in real estate, and like everything was going a lot better. So I was just like, I guess I got to stick to that.
Yeah, you got focused. Yeah. Good. Well, and I know since we're having a therapy session, might as well keep rolling with it. Go. But I know a real common thing. I mean, even people my age, and people in their 20s. Mm-hmm. I know a real common thing right now is like finding and making like meaningful relationships. I'm not talking romantic. I'm talking just finding relationships with other people and kind of making friends.
Yeah.
You came here. You said you knew one person, right?
Yep.
So you've been going out and having to go through that. You live by yourself. I know that.
Yeah.
And so you've been out trying to kind of make friends. I mean, how's that been in Austin?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like, just there's so many transplants, so there is a lot of people that are looking for the same thing, and that was another reason actually I was moving, because I feel like in where I'm from, everyone kind of like stays like with their friends, like with their groups, and then which is fine, but then they never kind of branch out. I noticed.
Yeah, their circles become their circles, and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's been nice to. There's so many people that are open to making new friends here. Which is it's a lot easier that way, right? And a lot of it is just forcing yourself to get out there. Like a lot of the times, I do not feel like doing like these social stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Because it can definitely be draining.
Everyone has a battery. Even extroverts have social batteries.
Yeah, but I've never regretted like going to like a social event. You know?
Yeah.
So, and in our business, it's huge. So, yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's always we had discussions years ago because we saw that as like a struggle, and we were like, do we get all of our incoming clients that relocated here and throw like a social event for them? That's always kind of been on a bucket list for me, but we never really did it. But what I've learned over the years, people that are in Austin specifically, it's a lot easier to go and meet people and make friends like that. So that's good to hear.
Yeah.
And for people like on the fence about relocating and not knowing people, that's good for them to know too.
Well, yeah. And I think a lot of people kind of stress like what kind of social events am I going to go to? Like, what is it going to look like? Like, I think like if you have any if you have any hobbies, like I play a lot of volleyball, like running stuff, like just go to those things that you already like to do, and then you will just meet like-minded people, and it's really that simple.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's good. Awesome. Well, we're I think
I'm
we're
still
good.
trying to find my wife though, so
yeah,
if you're watching. She's probably definitely watching, right?
The future, yeah. She will watch this.
Yeah, sweet.
I mean, this is going to be on the internet. It's going to be there forever. So,
oh, sweet.
Whatever you said now, your future wife or baby mama is definitely gonna be able to see this.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Think we're good.
Sweet.
Good job.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
This has been Real Estate Straight Up. Thank you all. See you later.
Peace.
And that's a wrap. If you got value out of this, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to someone who needs to hear it. And if you're in Central Texas thinking about making a move, we're here at Jorgensen Real Estate. We'll see you next time.